Welcome to the main event.
Welcome to the SummerSlam Night 2 review show here tonight. I am your host, Brandon B.T. Taylor. And this was an interesting night. This was way better than night 1. And it seems to be a trend here with how they do these 2-night events. It's always night and day for some reason. I think some of the same issues from last night carried over in tonight, and that's the length of some of these matches. We're having 3-hour event. Yeah, we're having 6 matches, but you're having matches that are lasting like what, 8 minutes, 4 minutes. 4 minutes is a stretch, but you get what I mean, like 8 minutes, barely 10 minutes. This is a big event. SummerSlam is your number 2 behind WrestleMania. Some of these matches should actually get some time besides the main events. Well, the 2 world title matches. Because like what? Punk and Rhodes. Did I want to say that was like almost 25 minutes at least. 25, 25, 27, 30. Punk and Cody went 30. Reigns and Rollins went 33. The times for every other match of this card. Liv Morgan EO 13:35. The Bloodline versus LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys went 11. Gunther Aldous went 11:40. Fatal Influence versus Team Total Divas went 7:30. Old Brock went 11:40. Tonight, Fatal 4-Way match went 8:30. Corbin Trick went 9:05. The women's ladder match went 13:05. Danhausen, Dominic Mysterio went 6:50. Gable Penta went 11:10. I don't I don't get it because and I like their turnaround is gonna be, well, this is why the 4-match cards make sense. Everyone gets time. You gotta you I seriously doubt ESPN is putting a cap on them, like, this is how long you got for this. I don't think they're doing that because as long hey, if you're watching, hey, more eyes there watching for X amount of minutes and shit. Same with Netflix. I don't think Netflix legitimately caps them. I think they cap themselves with this stuff. But I walk out here tonight. Roman's still World Heavyweight Champion. Gable got his moment, which is good. Chelsea got her moment. Still not clear if the interim title reign actually counts the world title reign. I'm on the impression that it's a no, but some other people have been saying, yeah, no, it counts. So we'll find out there. The questionable trick Baron Corbin book in here. And then probably the highlight of the night easily Kevin Owens returning tonight after 17 months off with a neck injury. So we'll kick it off here with that fatal 4-way. We'll originally start off as Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Then Nick Aldis comes out, announces he's going to be fair and he's going to make this match a participant to this match. That participant ended up being Gunther. That's a little swerve. Gunther's in the ring. It's ready. It's looking like being a triple threat. Aldis announces one more participant. And then, boom, Owens' music hits. Crowd goes insane. We're at the corner, throwing babies in the air. Yeah. Um, so this is where the match was fine. Owens coming off 17 months. He looked great. He looked good for as long as he was out for and the injury he dealt with. He looked good. And sign me up for the Kevin Owens CM Punk feud, which is going to feed families. I'm under the impression I full blown believe this is going to end up being on the World's End card. It just makes too much sense. It's going to be in Chicago. CM Punk They're facing All Out, same town. Punk's going to bring people there. Punk's gonna get more eyes there. I don't know if this is gonna be a CW event, a YouTube event, or ESPN Unlimited. They haven't really specified that. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be YouTube. But Punk Owens for World's End, or Worlds Collide, whatever the fuck they call it, Worlds Collide. Seems like it could be the plan here. It's gonna be that or Sunday night's main event that they're doing. One of them. I don't see this carrying over all the way till Money to Bank in October. That's too long. It's almost a 2 month wait. They're not doing that. They're not going to. Probably the Saturday night main event's going to be headlined by Cody and Randy, I would assume. But I don't see them. I don't see them not having Owens and CM Punk face off until Money Bank. I don't see them letting that happen. I don't see them doing pretty much 2 months to build that match. Just not gonna happen. But Kevin Owens pinned Sami Zayn to win that and become the #1 contender for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Sami continues his gimmick of the disgruntled guy who is losing his shit over everything, and rightfully so. Owens gets the Punk program, and now you got two guys in Balor and Gunther where you don't really know what you're doing with either of them right now. They didn't really tease anything where you could turn around and be like, you know what, Gunther and Balor can now go into a program with each other. There was no like inclination of that at all. And we're now once again, how many times this year are we sitting back being like, so what are they doing with Gunther? What's next for Gunther? Because since look at the trajectory. He faced Goldberg, ended Goldberg's career. Faced CM Punk at SummerSlam, lost the title, was injured, came back, won the Cena tournament, retired John Cena, then retired AJ Styles. And then he was basically non existent for the WrestleMania build because they refused to pivot off of their original plan, which was Gunther ending Rey Mysterio's career. And then they have him face Cody. That feud was not good at all. Faces Gunther, I mean, not Gunther, Nick Aldis now. That's one and done. You're now in a place where like what do you do with Gunther? He's not in the world title picture. You're not putting him back with Cody. I seriously don't see them putting him against Zayn. No way in hell. I mean, maybe they'll just try and justify Balor. But like, I don't know, you're kind of in a rock and a hard place here when it comes to what are you doing with Gunther next. Balor's pretty easy. Balor, you can easily just slip into the US title picture if need be. Give them an out there. Or use Balor to elevate one of these young guys that you want to move up to the main event level, like a Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, maybe Ricky Saints, spitball here. Those kind of guys. But good to see Kevin Owens back. Kevin Owens is your #1 contender for the WWE Championship now. Next match on the card, Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Oh boy, with this one. We brought Baron Corbin back to beat Trick Williams at SummerSlam to win the US title. I was on the DJ show, SummerSlam post show, and it we've some agreed that it wasn't a good decision. Some honestly thought it made sense because Trick was running dry, regardless if Trick was running stale or not. Baron Corbin's not the answer here. Unless Corbin's going on like maybe like a 3-week reign or some shit. Baron Corbin winning the United States Championship does not make any sense. Baron Corbin getting this title match did not make any sense heading in. But this was pretty forgetful match. It wasn't really that good. Um, I think you've now. I think the only thing with Trick you've probably hit your end with is the Lil Yachty pairing. I think that one has run its course. Hopefully, this was a write-off for him, or this is their way of getting him off, or Trick blames him for the loss, and Yachty and him are done. But I think you've hit the end of the Trick Williams Little Yachty partnership here. But with Baron Corbin, what's really next? What he's gonna face? What, Mello? You're gonna have him and Carmelo Hayes for the US title, and then what? You gotta give Melo the title back, but like it would have been more effective if you did Trick Mello here and you get Melo the title rather than Baron Corbin being the middleman. I don't I mean, one suggestion was spitball that Corbin goes on the Money in the Bank as US champion and you get Ricky Saints the helmet there and Saints wins the US title. I mean, interesting, but right once again, you're giving Baron Corbin was a 2-month title reign, which isn't needed. Corbin pretty much should be brought back to as kind of like a main roster player coach at this point. He's not a main event guy. He's not a high mid card guy. He shouldn't be positioned as one, but kind of felt like that Braun Strowman role where you want to help build someone up. You want to help establish someone. They used Braun Strowman to go help and establish Jacob Fatu. They used whatever, any big Bronson Reed. They used Braun Strowman to help establish him. That's what Baron Corbin should be. Baron Corbin should be that guy you use as the measuring stick, the litmus test as if you can't get over or look good facing him, there's probably no hope. And that's really what it was when it was big guys versus Braun Strowman, or at one point when it was Big Show that was doing it, and Big Show had to put over the necks like giants and stuff. But Trick Williams defeated by Baron Corbin here tonight. Corbin is the new United States champion. That match went about 9:05. Next on the card, the Fatal 5-Way ladder match for the interim WWE Women's Championship. Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Lash Legend, and Tiffany Stratton. For someone that does not like ladder matches, I do not like ladder matches. There's a very few ladder matches I've ever seen that I like truly liked, that I truly enjoyed. So putting my ladder match bias aside, this one filled its purpose. Do I think it was a good match? No, that's still ladder match bias to me. But I think it fit. I think it served its purpose here for everyone except Lash Legend. You kind of expand the Charlotte and Jade little feud going on. Tiffany got her hometown moment, and then you gave the big moment to Chelsea Green, setting up Chelsea and Rhea Ripley when Ripley returns in like a month or two. But Chelsea ended up winning that match 13:05. And one of the things I brought up in that match was hindsight now being 50-50. We're about 48 hours after that. Barry and Julia, because you wanted Lash Legend in that match. And then Lash Legend doesn't even look good in that match. Is a very huge miscalculation there. Very big miscalculation. For starters, no offense to Lash, but like her style does not fit ladder matches. It didn't make sense when they kept shoving Nia Jax in ladder matches. Like their styles do not fit that match. So they're not gonna really like look good in a ladder match to begin with. So now add on top of the fact that Lash is green as fuck. As green as this fucking logo here. And you put in her ladder match, you gave her Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair couldn't make it good. Chelsea Green couldn't make her look good. Jade, Tiffany, they couldn't make her look good. She did not look good tonight. She was the clear weak point of this match to a point now for the people that were really upset about what happened on Friday night and the people that were defending it and saying, well, Julia can't go over the crowd. You have no leg to stand on now. There's no leg to stand on because Lash Legend is not over with the crowd. Lash Legend is not good in the ring and she's not good on the mic right now. The only thing she has going for her is that she has the look. She has the look of someone that can be a major star. That's it right now. That is legitimately it. So for the people that were since Friday up in arms about the Julia burial, take your victory lap here because you look more right now than you did when it happened 48 hours ago. Julia would have been 10 times better served in this match. She would have looked better than Lash did. She would have probably elevated this match a little bit more too. Actually added something to this. Like I get it, and I get what they see. I see what they see in Lash Legend. I do. I think if she can easily put it together, she can be a mage. She can be a big star in this company, but she's just not there yet. Her tag partner, who got released by WWE, looks better. She looks better. She can talk. She is decent in the ring. She has a look too. Not the megastar look that Lash Legend has, but she has a look too. Her tech, like if you, when the release happened of um Mara Saeed, I assume that's the name. I probably butchered it. It was clear, like, oh well, she's the Marty and Lash is the HBK. Well, so far since that release, one's still in WWE, but just floating and has not progressed really at all. And the other one is in the middle of a bidding war to a degree between two companies, AEW and TNA, because I don't think she's off WWE's radar or WWE's thinking about bringing her back. So now, what are you gonna do with Lash? Just put her back with Nia? They got to figure something out with Lash because their current plan to get her over and to really solidify her and stuff so far has not worked. It hasn't worked at all. It's not working. If this was if this was sports, we're using a sports analogy right now, we'd be sitting here and starting to question if she's a first round bust. That's what we'd be sitting here today wondering. Is she a potential first round pick bust? Charlotte and Jade look good. Charlotte, they've done a good job with the Charlotte face turn to a degree where, like, I don't think most people would mind a Charlotte Flair World Championship reign again, which is insane because if you asked people about a year ago, they would have been 100% against it. Like, no, we don't need Charlotte in the world title picture, but I think most people are now coming around to the fact that, you know what, maybe we'll be okay with the Charlotte Championship reign again. I think it'll be the first time probably in her entire career that fans are actually going to be receptive and accept a title reign of hers. And when it happens, I think she'll have people behind her. Jade's killing it. I think Jade's killing. Jade is hitting it. It started off rocky. Turned WWE, we can all agree. That title reign was not really that good, but for the most part, she is easily one of the top heels, female heels in this company. Probably after Liv, she's number two. So, like, hats off to Jade Cargill because she's killing it. Stratton's just there at this point. I preferably want that US title offer. Give it to JC Jane. Let Fatal Influence run the tag in the SmackDown women's mid card scene for now. And for Chelsea, my hope is this can't just be a moment thing. You got to make it worth it. And to make it worth it is when you have this unified title match between Rhea and Chelsea. Chelsea needs to win. If you want Rhea to win the title back like soon after, fine. But for this moment to work and for it to truly mean something, Chelsea has to beat Rhea when they face off. So then the narrative around Chelsea is not, well, you were a fake champion. You were only champion because Rhea got hurt. So they need to 100% strap a rocket to Chelsea, give her the win over Rhea. If you want to take the title off her, like 2 weeks later at the next event, whatever, after they do the unified match, fine. But for this moment to mean something, she has to win the unified title match for this reign to really count and matter. Next match on the docket was the Human Money's on a pole match between Dominic Mysterio and Danhausen. This was the worst match of the entire event, night one and night two, which is to be expected because it's a Danhausen match. And I like Danhausen, even though I got into the rant on the last episode of how they're overexposing him. I like Danhausen. I don't mind Danhausen. I do mind Danhausen 3 times a night. I do full blown believe that the next step for Danhausen, if he's going to remain on Raw, is that him and Hendry are going to be going for the tag titles, and they're going to crown Danhausen a champion. If it's to remain on SmackDown, it's to wrap up the Kit Wilson and this stuff. But I don't mind Danhausen. Now, Dominic Mysterio, on the other hand, what a brutal 2026 it has been for Dominic Mysterio right now. He is the AAA mega champion. And if you look at the hype of AAA, a lot of people, since the mask versus mask build up and match and all that, he has not been a big part of the AAA firestorm going on for the most part. He doesn't get the same heel heat that he had, we'll go probably a year ago, 2 years ago. And I don't blame the loss against Cena. I don't think that's what kickstarted it or let it go wild here. I think just full blown, the Judgment Day thing as a whole ran its course. It should have died the night after WrestleMania. That's when it should end. If you wanted to keep Dom and Liv together, fine, whatever. But the whole Judgment Day group should have ended at around Mania season when they kicked Balor out. It ran its course. He's not. And then when Dom drops the AAA title, then what? then what? He's just there. He's just another guy now. He does not have the same steam he had a year ago. And then with Danhausen, I once again don't mind Danhausen. Do not mind Danhausen. I find Danhausen kind of fucking hilarious. You just don't need him 3 times a night. I get why they get match SummerSlam. My opinion, I don't think you should be wasting matches on Danhausen unless it's like a really huge card because Danhausen's good for like a 3-minute in-ring segment, and that's like it. He shouldn't be having one of the he shouldn't be filling up match on SummerSlam when you're keeping Braun Breaker off it. Like the logic is not there with the decision here of and just going off creatively. Okay, Danhausen putting them on ESPN, pretty much building a Saturday Night Main Event around him makes sense. Fine. But the overexposure of Danhausen does not. Because let's be honest, the casual fans, the Knicks fans, they're not watching WWE. You're trying to appease to an audience that isn't there. An audience that isn't watching weekly, is not consuming your product, is not going away to watch your product, go to your product, spend money on your product. That's what they're trying to hit with Danhausen here. And it's not that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hit the people, the quote unquote casuals, but like the casuals are not WWE fans. They're not going out of the way to watch WWE. They're not buying the tickets, buying the shirts, buying the merchandise, this, that, and the other. That's what they're doing when they're putting Danhausen on 3 times a show. But this match you had Dog Danhausen going back and forth, then JD comes out, then the Midgethausens come out, a little back and forth, then Joe Hendry comes out, Danhausen wins, starts handing everyone Danhausen bucks, Hausen money, whatever the hell you want to call it, to the crowd. Good little, I mean, I wish I could call it cool down, but it's not like, I mean, yeah, you can call it a cool down because the crowd was losing it when Chelsea won. So but this was pretty much your cool down match before you got to your co-main event of the evening, which was Chad Gable versus Penta. My opinion, yes, this was a short match, but this was the match I probably enjoyed the most throughout the entire weekend. It was my favorite match. I'll probably rewatch this entire 2 nights at some point and see if it was actually the match of the night, but this was the match I enjoyed the most the entire weekend. Chad Gable defeated Penta by submission to finally win the Intercontinental Championship. Little weird that they made him share his moment of finally winning the ITC title with the Root Bear Dog. Kind of lose me on that. That's when, like, no offense, I get you want all these advertising dollars and this, that, and the other, but like, there's some moments that like you don't need to try and do some advertised bullshit. This was not one of them. You didn't need the Root Beer Dog out there. You didn't need the Root Beer Dog out there celebrating with Chad Gable and his family. Like that's like if when Cody won the title at WrestleMania 40 and they sent out the fucking Michelin Man. And Cody started tossing rubber fucking tires into the crowd. Like you could have found something else for like honestly, the Root Beer Dog could have celebrated with Danhausen. and it would have made sense. Would have been fine. This is where the advertisement and them trying to push advertisement money dollars and get the casual appeal and stuff. This is where it didn't fit here. You did not need the root beer dog celebrating with Chad Gable at the end of the day. But this was a good match. Chad Gable won this by submission over Penta to become your new Intercontinental Champion. So before we get to the main event, there was one thing that was brought up when we were talking on the DJ Neil post show. They didn't announce an attendance at all these two nights. And there's a reason for that, because they've always announced an attendance for these things. And I think it's because they don't want a number out there. They don't want an actual number out there or even a pretend number out there because of perception. And they know All In is going to beat it. All In is going to beat SummerSlam in terms of attendance. All In is going to be the event of the summer. Perception matters, which is why they go out of their way and they book these days of, well, AEW is doing All In here, so we're going to announce a random double taping of AAA and an NXT takeover, or not takeover, PLE. Or All Out's happen in Chicago. But hey, guess what? All State Arena's available that night. We're going to run Worlds Collide randomly. They care about perception. Is AEW are they worried about AEW? No, I don't. But I think AEW to them is kind of like that fly that like you just can't really kill and it's really fucking annoying and they keep coming back. That's AEW, WWE. They'll do whatever they can to try to kill it and stop it. And it just doesn't work. Fly gets a little more annoying and annoying. That's what they think of AEW, in my opinion. But you know damn well they care about public perception. They care about the perception. And they know their event this summer is not going to be the event of the summer this year, like it was last year. Your main event, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. This went 33 minutes. This match was good. There were points of it where it dragged a lot. You did have the useless ref bump, like you do almost every Roman match now. But Roman picked up the win, did some tributes to the Shield there. Roman refusing to hit Rollins with the chair for like the umpteenth time and chose to win it his way. He won it his way. Let this be it. The Shield story is over. It ended 10 years ago. And I'll say here and I'll say it again. Kind of hard to tell the story of the Shield when the third guy is not there. And then I see on X that a lot of people like losing it because they think they're taking shots at Moxley. Like, no, they just spent a whole ass match honoring him. Rollins did his signature in WWE. Roman did his finisher. Like, those two are not just going to randomly throw shots at John Moxley. So, like, get over that one. They're not throwing shots at him. But yeah, that is your night 2 of SummerSlam. A little shorter than last night, but yeah, we kind of had all the key points. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow for the Monday night, for the debut of the Monday night breakdown. But this is the All Average Wrestling Show, and this was your SummerSlam Night 2 review show. Adios.